Hello and welcome and happy Christmas. Merry Christmas. Are you feeling Christmassy yet?
Oh,
this.
I thought it was for the listeners.
That was a rhetorical question that you were going to follow up on.
Okay, I'll leave that one hang for the listeners. They can let us know. Shane, are you feeling Christmassy yet?
Yeah, I'm starting to feel a bit Christmassy. Definitely. I've done my Christmas shopping, so that's always good.
Actually, I haven't introduced this. This is I got to introduce the lads. Shane here. Some people might know his dad from the very good Christmas movie Trains, Planes and Automobiles. He's the white-haired one, not John Candy.
Steve Martin.
Yeah, there we go. You got that one, yeah?
Yeah, I understood that one.
Yeah. I'll never run out of Martins.
There's a lot of famous Martins.
Yeah. And with the broomstick in his Ian hand, it's Frosty the Snowman himself, Mr. Ian Hand.
I like that.
That was very good.
That was nice and wholesome. I'm happy with that one. Steve Martin one, not as much.
Yeah.
But
great film, though.
Right, well, we're on pop culture. I have some stats of Christmas music here. So I have the global Spotify stats of the most played Christmas song for the last 4 years. And it's only 2 songs. Can you guess which 2 they are that have been swapping the top spot?
Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You.
Ding.
Yeah.
And the second one?
Fairy Tale?
No, globally now.
Okay.
So I'll just tell you that it's Last Christmas by Wham.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So in 2007...
that film helped.
Yeah.
Last Christmas.
Yeah. 2017, it was Last Christmas. 2018 was Mariah. 2019 was Mariah. 2020 was Last Christmas. 2021, who knows? Obviously, streaming has just become more popular over the last 4 years compared to physically owning things and the radio and stuff like that. So streaming has gotten much more popular since 2017, but obviously 2020 streaming went through the fucking roof because of lockdown and people just not being out. So last year, Wham was streamed 24 million times on Spotify.
Whoa.
In 2020. And Mariah was streamed 23 million times. Actually, just a comparison there between 2017 Christmas streams in total were 27 million point 7 streams, and then by 2020 it was 60.1 million streams. So that's just a jump in 4 years, and obviously the pandemic helping for last year. The top 5 in the UK Spotify is Wham on the top spot, Mariah number 2, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee, Fairy Tale New York, and Do They Know It's Christmas. So that's pretty understandable for the UK. The top 10 then in 2020 alone, this is where it gets a bit weird. Wham number 1, Mariah number 2, Santa Tell Me by Ariana Grande.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I've heard that all right. I've heard that song.
It's beginning
Shane's
to look
down with the kids, you know.
Yeah, he
I'm
knows.
pretty cool.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas by Michael Bublé.
Oh, God.
Mistletoe by Justin Bieber.
Mother of Christ.
Yeah. Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams.
Oh, okay, yeah. Unfortunate those 2 are ahead of him, but yeah.
Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree, Brenda Lee. Jingle Bell Rock, Bobby Helms. Do They Know It's Christmas Time, Band-Aid. Let Us Know by Frank Sinatra. So they're pretty understandable apart from those wild ones. This list is I know it's hard to keep up with all these lists here, but this one I thought was the weirdest one. These are the best selling digital stream singles. So these are singles that were actually paid for online, not streamed on Spotify. So
Recently?
This year.
Really?
Well,
who's still buying digital?
This is it. So listen to these. So obviously number 1 is Mariah Carey. Number 2 is Do You Want to Build a Snowman by Kristen Bell.
That's nice. Yeah.
Frozen.
Which is from Frozen.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mistletoe by Justin Bieber. Last Christmas by Wham. This Christmas by Chris Brown. Cozy Little Christmas by Katy Perry. Snowman by Sia. And You Make It Feel Like Christmas by Gwen Stefani. So think about that. They're bought, and the majority of them are kids stuff. So that's parents just being like, I'll buy it for you.
Yeah.
So they're buying the songs. So
that
is your market for people who are actually spending the 99 cent or whatever it is for music. Yeah. Whereas the stream charts are totally different. It's Fairy Tale New York. It's older people with their personal players streaming stuff on Spotify. So yeah, that's pretty interesting, I think. You almost say it's queer interest.
So what you're saying is what we have to do is write a kiddies Christmas song and that's it. We're sorted.
For at least a year, anyway.
Yeah.
If you want the long haul, do Fairy Tale or Mariah Carey. I just think it's quite interesting because basically everyone who knows how to make money knows that you have to make a Christmas song. Like Chris Brown, Katy Perry, like Sia. It's basically just like, it's just part of the CV of being a money-making artist, being a big commercial artist. Because once again, as everybody knows, you can write a very good song, but then that, especially nowadays, will get lost in the whirlwind of the internet and time. But you can promote a Christmas song once a year, so it's a goldmine. Especially if you're big enough to get just on every Spotify playlist every year, you're gonna make loads of money from it. So there we go. I think I can move on now. I'm just gonna keep bombarding you with Christmas facts here. One Christmas song that I looked into because I found it really interesting was "Do You Hear What I Hear?"
Oh yeah, I know it from the Gremlins.
Yeah, so that was first released in 1962. It was written by a guy called Noel Ragney and his wife Gloria Shane Baker. So Noel Ragney is a French guy. That was basically his claim to fame. He wrote that with his wife, and they also wrote "Rain, Rain, Go Away," which is quite a big nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They did kind of Christmas songs. But he has got an incredibly interesting life. So he's an Alsatian. He's from Alsace in France.
Oh yeah.
And obviously he was born in 1922. So he was forcibly conscripted into the German SS.
Fuck.
Him along with like 30,000 other Alsatians were forced.
I can't stop laughing at that.
Were forced into the German army, and their names post-war was called the Malgré-nous, which means against our will. But many of the thousands of guys and girls who were forced to fight for the German army, many of them were threatened with their families. They were like, basically, play ball here and go fight on the Eastern Front mainly, which was, kind of guaranteed death. You were just cannon fodder. Or, your families back home could be in trouble if they find out we have fled. But many of them, like our friend Ragney here, decided to join the French resistance and be double agents. So, and this is exactly what this guy did. And he staged an ambush and got shot in the arm and ended up getting like medals and everything, and like kind of from the inside brought down lots of German battalions in French-occupied or Nazi-occupied France. So a bit of a legend. And then moved to New York and decided to teach and write music. And obviously after the war, he was quite anti-war and anti like making money from things. So he thought the commercialization of Christmas was disgusting. He decided to have a once-off payment to write a Christmas song because he didn't want to be like making all this money from it. So he took his name off the royalty for "Do You Hear What I Hear?" But the song itself, it's an old traditional hymn that's kind of based on the nativity scene, but he altered lyrics and stuff. So it's actually his version of it, and the one that's sung by Bing Crosby is his version, is a response to the Cuban Missile Crisis. It's like a protest song. So that was kind of his little dig in there to get away from the commercialization of it. Yeah, he released it in 1962. It was sung by the Harry Simone Choral Choir. They also did the very famous version of Little Drummer Boy, released in the same year. But it didn't do overly well in the charts at the time, and it wasn't until 1963 when Bing Crosby did his version of it. That's the one that we all kind of know and hear. But I'd recommend go listen to the original 1962 version of it. I think it's way better. I think it's really cool. Has really nice instrumentation in it and stuff. Yeah, it's an incredibly popular song. I think Christmas songs from doing this podcast always have the strangest backgrounds.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Coming on Christmas, they're cutting down trees, they're putting up stockings and singing songs of joy and peace. So I wish I had a river I could skate away on, but it don't snow here, no, it stays pretty green. I'm gonna make a lot of money and then I'm gonna leave this crazy scene. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet just how to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made my baby cry. He tried hard to help me, you know, he put my mind at ease. He loved me so naughty, he made me weak at the knees. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I'm so hard to handle, yes, I'm selfish and I'm sad. Now I've gone and lost the best damn baby that I've ever had. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. Oh, I wish I had a river so long I would teach my feet just how to fly. Oh, I wish I had a river I could skate away on. I made my baby have to say goodbye. On Christmas, they're cutting down trees, they're putting up stockings and singing songs of joy and peace. So I wish I had a river I could skate away on.
This is TER Radio 4, and now a look at some Irish Christmas traditions, long gone and some surprisingly still here.
Okay, lads. So we are back. The 12 Days of Christmas. We all know it, don't we? Classic English Christmas carol.
Sure do.
Yeah. So, from the 18th century, 1780, I think was the earliest it was published. And of course, then that standard tune that we know on the 12th day, all that was like 1909 by a composer called Frederick Austin. And forevermore, in the annals of Christmas history, it's wheeled out every December, But of course, the 12 days of Christmas, as we know it, the Christian 12 days, there's nothing Christian about it. It is, in fact, the 12 days of Yule, or Yuletide, as we would know it. So Yule, it was traditionally a pagan festival, So Yule is from the Norse word Yule. I think it's a J, and an O with an L.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it was midwinter festival. So like the winter solstice, as we know it in Ireland, Us Irish, or I should say, the Hiberno-Norse, were the original kind of contributors to this kind of Yuletide festival. Obviously you had the early English as well, and the Scandinavians, but it was the Irish that really kind of made it this celebration of 12 days. There originally was only 3 around the winter solstice, but then they made it into this big 12-day festival. With this 12 days, you had various different other traditions, older traditions, like, molded into it, all around midwinter. One really interesting one in Ireland, and it still exists to this day, is what we now know as St. Stephen's Day, which was the Wren boys, or Wren Day, or Lá an Droilín in Irish. So this is an incredibly old pagan tradition that doesn't have anything to do with Christmas whatsoever. And the origin story is just, this is class in it, right? I was really surprised to find it. Now, there's a lot of Christian bastardizations of it, but the original is this. So you had this woman called Cleena, who was from the other world, let's say, beyond the veil type thing. And she used to lure young men with her charm and good looks, but she would lure them to the sea and drown them, just for pure divilment, pure mischiefs, And basically the men went to the druids, at the time, and said, look, we can't, is there anything we can do here? Is there some sort of spell you can cast? So the druids come up with a charm to stop this Cleena, for claiming these poor young men. And basically, to try and evade this charm, she would turn herself into a wren, to try and disguise herself, this tiny little bird, so they wouldn't find her. But the druids copped on that she can turn herself into a wren to try and evade this. So she was most mischievous around Yuletide, because everyone was enjoying the festivities. A lot of the men were inebriated, so she'd get them, fairly easily. So the druids copped that, she could turn herself into a wren, and said, right, well, we'll backfire this on you, and we'll turn you into a wren for a period of a day or two around Yuletide, which would now be, Stevens' Day. So she's forced to turn herself into this wren by this spell that the druids cast. And as a result, all the young men around Ireland would try and hunt a wren on Wren Day, or Stevens' Day as we know it, in hopes that they would actually kill Cleena.
Fuck.
Isn't that unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
This that's still a thing.
Yeah, it's still a thing. So Shane, being a proud Munster man, it's still quite prevalent in Munster as a thing. Now it was prevalent throughout Ireland, for hundreds of years, and even up here in Louth, Ailbhe's dad used to partake in Wren Day when he was a young single man. But a lot of the reasons why it's kind of non-existent in a lot of the country is one was due to immigration. And the famine apparently, had a big impact on it, on the tradition. And another is also the church, that the church was like, no, absolutely not. This is a pagan thing. You cannot celebrate this. But of course, the men in Munster's like, no, fuck that. This is more important to us than what you're saying.
What I liked about that story was the men going to the druids, like, you got to help us out here. Like, here, she's far too charming. I can't. You got to do something.
Of course, there is a musical element to this, So once the men would, capture the wren, they would either. So there's various stories about what they do at the wren, and varies in tradition in different places in Ireland. So one, they'd capture it and put it in a cage, or they'd somehow still keep it alive and have it on a branch, maybe tie it to a branch so it can't fly away. And others would actively kill it and just essentially nail it to a branch of a holly tree. The traditional song, there's lots of different variants of it, but the start of it is normally about the wren, the king of the birds, and St. Stephen's Day, we caught in the furze. So that they found this wren, and there's lots of different verses, but like, I love this little one. It's like, I have a little box under my arm, a penny or tuppence would do it no harm. But basically that stems back to saying, look, we've caught Cleena, we did the community a favour here. Give us a tuppence, or, whatever the currency was back in pre-Norman times. It's like, so.
And the Catholic Church weren't cool with them getting money for silly things.
No, not at all.
Hey, that's our shtick.
Yeah. I thought that was so cool. The origins of Wren Day.
That's really cool.
Yeah. You mentioned there that obviously the 12 Days of Christmas is a carol.
Yeah.
Do you know the word carol comes from the French word for carol, which means circle dance accompanied by voices.
Oh, very cool.
So carols originally were something that you're supposed to dance to, and the only music accompanying it would be your voices. But obviously then they've started to become more religion-based and wrapped up in a church and ceremonies and stuff like that. And then kind of just Christmas was the only place that the tradition was kept alive. Have you ever heard of the most famous carol, I suppose, associated with Ireland?
Is this the Wexford Carol, Frank?
It would have to be the Wexford Carol. So the Wexford Carol, weirdly enough, is this like globally known Christmas song. It's like, why the hell is it so globally known? It actually stems back to 1684, which there was a friar called Luke Wadding, who was the Archbishop of Ferns at the time, and he published a book called The Samale Garland of Pious and Godly Songs. And it was very, very widely popular around mainly Leinster and Wexford. Obviously, him being from Ferns. Well, he was from Waterford, but being based in Ferns. After he died soon after it was he published it. There was a father, William Deverix, who was from the parish in Drina in Wexford. And he published a new one in the 1700s called The New Garland, which had 2 of Luke Wadding's songs in it. But he posted a new one which had 13 songs in it, which was 13 carols for the 12 days of Christmas and Christmas Eve. And obviously when Luke Wadding wrote these, this was like during the persecution of the Catholics, like was at its absolute height. So they were feeling fairly sorry for themselves at the time, and the kind of somberness of it was down. So what's unique about these carols that are still sung to this day? So that was Father William Deverix, and there's still Deverixes singing them who were related to him to this day. So it basically died out all around County Wexford, in that the church kind of bullied them out because they were miserable, and they started letting more contemporary songs be sung at church. But for some reason, Kilmorkey, which is most of where his descendants were, so that is kind of the reason, I suppose, it was a family tradition they were keeping going. They still sing them to this day in the little church down in Kilmore, and it's unique to there. But they're tough going. Like they're hard to listen to because they were written during such somber times. The notation on all written scripts of it is to sing it as slow as possible and not in harmony. So it's 6 singers, and they share the stanzas between 3 and 3. So they split into 2 groups of 3, and the first 3 sing the first stanza, second 3 sing the second one, and so on and so forth. But the instruction to sing it as slow as possible is basically to mirror the misery of the time they were written in. Yeah, they're tough going. It sounds like 6 really pissed fellas falling out of a pub forgetting. And one of the rules is that you can do whatever inflection you want on it. So it's sung in unison. You're not doing harmonies with each other, and you're also putting your own spin on it. So you can go off on a bit of a tangent yourself if you want to, and do a note for a bit longer. So it kind of overlaps with each other, and it sounds like drunk guys doing it. But yeah, it's carried on. There's one person in the 300 years that this has been going who wasn't a family member of the original kind of like people who were singing it from the very start. So it's like Devrix's, Bates, you know, very Wexford names. It's still going on. They're still doing it to this day. It's going to happen this Christmas Eve. They're going to sing it. They usually don't sing it for all 12 days anymore. They usually sing it Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and then the 6th, like Little Christmas. But there is a song for every day, like, and one of those, of course, is the Wexford Carol that we all know and love. It goes under many other names, the Enniscorthy Carol or the Kilmore Carol. So the reason that it might be called the Enniscorthy Carol is because of a man called W.H. Grattan Flood. So he was the organist. Don't think he was actually from Wexford. I'm not actually sure where he's from, but he ended his career as a very famous organist in St. Aidan's Cathedral in Enniscorthy. And just before he passed away, he was asked to transcribe basically his whole repertoire for the Oxford Book of Carols. And one of them was this Kilmore Carol that was originally written in 1684 by Luke Wadding. And he transcribed that. And then as soon as it went into that like Oxford Book of Carols, it circulated all over the world, over to America. And the Chieftains have done a cover of it. Alison Krauss did a cover of it, along with Wren, Gideon from Caroline of Chocolate Drops, and Tom Jones sang on that as well. Everyone has done a cover of it. Yo-Yo Ma did a cover of it with Alison Krauss. And many of those songs as well, they're sang in like Middle English and Yola still, which is kind of cool. It's like it preserves Yola. The reason it died out in every other parish, because there was less connection to it with the family members and stuff like that, and they're arduous, so a lot of priests were like, I can't listen to this anymore. There was a priest in the 19th century who came into Kilmore. He tried to banish it. He was like, we're getting rid of these carols, we're going to modernise it, we're going to start using Victorian carols, more up-to-date stuff. And out of protest then, the next year, nobody in Kilmore came to Mass. So he said Mass to an empty church out of protest of those carols not being sang at it. And then they said, he said the year after, he was like, I'm not standing down on this. And then I think the actual quote from one of the Devrixes was, luckily that priest got banished and he had to get relocated because of that.
Power to the people.
Yeah. So like, I think it's pretty cool because like it's still going on, but like I'd worry about the next generation because the guys who are doing it now are like in their 70s and stuff. So I can't imagine there's many like sprightly, you know, Gen Zers wanting to get in on this old style of caroling. So and all it will take is like 2 generations for it to be absolutely forgotten about. Yeah, I don't know. Should these things be carried on as long as they do? It's kind of cool, but then again, it's these like kind of backwards, weird Catholic traditions or something. Like it's, I don't know. It's cool, but it's also strange.
What's funny to me though about like a tradition like that is like you're saying that it's very kind of not easy to listen to. So how has it stayed a tradition? Just people willfully.
Well, that's the thing. It's my mama's from that area, so she grew up having to listen to it, and she hates it. And then I was brought down there once because I down around Christmas and stuff, and I remember just thinking this is painful, like because it goes. They're like some of the songs are like 12 minutes long, so it's done during when the communion is given out, and then you have to stay like until they're finished. And it does, it's like 6 people doing Shanos, but they've all got like different lyric sheets. So it's like it's tough going, but I think the reason it has just kept staying is just weird Norman Irish people and their traditions just being stubborn.
That original way of singing it, obviously it's done like that in Wexford. There's a hell of a lot of covers and that, you know, famous versions where it is polished, you know, and you do have the harmonies, you know.
Yeah, like just listen to the version with Tom Jones on it. Like he's obviously not singing it the way the boys do, and obviously, you know, Katrina O'Leary sings that with him, and then the Alison Krauss one is very Americanized. Stuff. But there's very similar. It's kind of funny because it's Norman Irish Catholic people keeping the tradition alive. Obviously, listen to those names like Devrix and Bates and stuff like that are keeping it going. But there's a musicologist from, I think, UCD, I think, who came down to record them once for like some radio and a Gaeltacht archive. And he was like, they're the very same as like slow airs that have died out in like parts of Mayo and Connacht, like the inflections of them, which is obviously Sean-Os. I suppose the difference is with the Kilmore ones, it's a song by 6 people rather than just one lad in the kitchen by himself. But yeah, so it obviously has, it's a time stamp. It's that time period more so than a cultural stamp, I suppose. The fact that they're sung in Yola is kind of what makes it a bit more unique to the southeast. But yeah, I think it's interesting that the Wexford Carol has come out of that.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting that.
But there you go.
Snowmen in the field I see, ride the coalbacks down the hill with me. Hey look, you got Rudolph's nose. Put my hat on, you'll get cold. Now let's have a snowball fight. I always want you on my side. Sit down by the fire with me. Let's try and climb the Christmas tree. You and I alone will go, and I'll walk you all the way back home. And we'll talk about our school and things, and I'll see you at tomorrow, please. Oh yeah, forgot this part. This is where you break my heart. You told me that you loved me then. Did you really mean that, friend? Don't go telling me lies, love. Tell me the truth, love. Tell me the truth. 'Cause that way I won't have to know, love. Won't have to see, love. Won't have to ask the ghost of Christmas past.
Open us up. I'm just gonna unwrap my Freddo there first.
You unwrap that.
Yeah. Okay. Blast on there, Shane.
All right, lads. So welcome to a bit of a quiz here. This is a game called Controversial Christmas. There's one I got off a friend of mine the other day, so it's actually quite fun. I've done a little twist on it for you to make it a bit musical. So the first few questions, just about Christmas. The second half, Christmas songs.
We both get the question? Yeah.
You both get the question. It's the idea of this is it's supposed to divide you. Or you could come together on this and have the same opinion. That's hence the name Controversial Christmas. Anyway, so lads, what is the correct choice for a Christmas tree? Would you go real or would you go fake?
This is a loaded question in that both are good. Obviously, a real one smells better, but it's dirtier. It's worse for the environment. Plastic ones last you forever. They're pen they are to put together, so not fun to bring it into the house.
Yeah,
well,
and the production of the plastic ones isn't great either.
No, I would say for the smell alone, I'd say real Christmas tree. But then again, no house that I go to for Christmas has one. So
I have one.
Yeah, I was
a real one.
So you just
I'm real.
So.
I am real from like the youngest I was. Like I've never gone in for a fake tree.
This is Ian Hand keeping it real.
And you know, and it you know, it's grown in an area of Ireland that can't grow anything else. You know.
Yeah, I find with this one, there's pros and cons. You know.
Yeah,
and the trunk goes into the fire afterwards, so it's keeping me warm. You know.
I think we say ideally real tree. I think all three of us can agree with that.
Okay, perfect. This is a yes or no question. Was Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes, but it could be enjoyed any time of the year, more so than any other Christmas movie.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I personally don't watch it at Christmas, but I can
Yeah,
see
no,
that
I
people
don't
do.
go out of my way to watch it. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my thing is, it's a Christmas party that gets interrupted by the terrorist. So technically, set of Christmas must be a Christmas movie. I wouldn't go and be like, oh, it's not Christmas unless I've watched Die Hard.
Can I interrupt your quiz with a question there?
You can, of course.
Is Gremlins a Christmas or Halloween movie?
Oh,
It
I
can-
would
it can
say
be-
Christmas.
It can be both, but I absolutely Christmas though. I watch it every Christmas Day night.
Yeah, it makes me feel Christmassy. Also, as well, if you have a keen eye, which I'm not sure if either of you have, the part where they're in
That's an insult. That's an insult right there.
I'm kind of saying, I'm not sure if either of you have had, I suppose. The part in the pub where they're wrecking the place. You can see two hurls on the roof.
Okay, I stand corrected. I don't have a keen eye.
Keep an eye out for it, boys. Keep an eye out. Everybody.
Irish set designer working.
Well, it's an Irish pub, so yeah. They got it right.
That's actually brilliant. I'm going to watch that now. I'll specifically, is this Gremlins 1? Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. When they're in the pub wrecking the place, pulling pints and stuff like that, yeah.
That's brilliant.
So next question. Rules for opening presents. Do you do Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
Oh, Christmas Day for me.
Yeah, traditionally, if you're like a little kid on that Christmas Day, absolutely. Now, like I have started a tradition with my friend Jean, of course, our friend Jean, where we do unwrap each other's present that we gave to each other on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
But that's the only one that I do that with. Everything else be Christmas Day.
When we were kids, we would spend Christmas Eve out in Blarney Woolen Mills because we would visit Santa there. And basically, it's a whole day because you're queuing all day. Your parents go to the pub and they wait for their number to be called. And then you went up to visit Santa. And sure, they loved that because they were just sitting in the pub drinking all day. And then a tannoy would come on and be like, numbers B 30 to 30 to 50. Please come up to the queue and all that kind of thing. So, but with that, so we'd go with our cousins, and when we got home from that, we were allowed to open one present, but it was just what the cousins had just given us.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with the opening of a present on Christmas Eve. Obviously, Christmas Day is like when Santa has brought you a present. So that's what matters, I suppose.
The next one, again, rules for opening presents. Do you get up and open everything first thing, or wait till everyone else is up and then open?
Age dependent.
Yeah, like when I was a child, I opened everything first when I got up.
Yeah, you have very cruel parents if it's like you sit there and look at them until we're ready to open ours. Yeah.
I think in my house, it's always been the tradition, and there's always the argument every year of, would you go up and get him out of bed? Like, there's always one person that slept in. One of us, it was somebody's turn every year, and you'd call in them 3 or 4 times, and it's just like, we're all waiting for you. Would you fucking get out of bed and come down so we can open our present? So we still do that today. Brilliant. So that's kind of, you've got the idea here. So now we're going to really, really delve into our controversial Christmas quiz and with Christmas songs. This is just straight up, what's a better song? What's a better Christmas song? What's a better Christmas song? Rocking Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee or Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms?
Oh, fuck you.
Fuck's sake.
I think the intro to Bobby Helms gets me more excited because of Home Alone. That guitar line. They're both equal, but I'm going to pick Bobby Helm.
Ian?
God, it's a tough one, isn't it? It really is. Like, they're so similar as well. I would say Bobby Helm just edges ever so slightly ahead for me.
Okay.
I have to say, I had a newfound appreciation for Brenda Lee's when we covered it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
You know, I definitely would say that because previous to that, I wasn't a huge fan of it.
Yeah.
These are only going to get harder, lads.
Oh, God.
So, what's a better Christmas song? Nat King Cole, the Christmas song, or Bing Crosby, White Christmas?
Well, the Christmas song is my favorite Christmas song, so that's that for me.
Yeah, I suppose if I look at like consistently throughout my life, I suppose the Bing Crosby one was there, you know, with me, and it was more like Nat King Cole was more like as I got a bit older, you know, I started to appreciate that. It's purely on nostalgia, and that I go with Bing Crosby.
Oh, controversial. You both picked something different. What a controversial Christmas. Oh my God.
It's happened.
It's finally happened. What's a better Christmas song? Burr Lives, Holly Jolly Christmas, or Andy Williams, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year?
I don't know.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah, hands down.
Hands down.
Oh, I thought that would be a bit more controversial.
That Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. It can go and have a Holly Jolly, you know what?
Okay, so that was decisive and quick. Last one for you. What's a better Christmas song? John Lennon, Happy Christmas War is Over, or Paul McCartney, Wonderful Christmas Time?
Fuck
Can't do
shit.
that.
Well, we're doing it.
Once again, if you're to go by just intros, when I hear that intro of Paul McCartney's, it's just like, oh, here we go.
Oh, that's...
Here we go. But I think Paul McCartney's is kind of unadulterated, unshameful, kind of cheesy. Like, it could be put in the cheesy category, and it's realistically, if that song wasn't about Christmas, you wouldn't be into it. You'd be like, that's a terrible Paul McCartney song. But John Lennon's it's a good song, regardless of it being about Christmas and stuff like that. But I gotta go Paul McCartney, because I actually didn't really like the John Lennon one up until not too long ago.
Yeah, like, look, Paul McCartney, 100% for me. Like, it's my favorite Christmas song.
Oh.
I absolutely love the John Lennon one, and especially from, I would say, you know, certainly from the age of 15, 16, the John Lennon one was definitely a lot more, you know, of a thing for me, I suppose, in, you know, later life. But certainly from a kid all the way up to now, Paul McCartney's. And I love seeing the video on VH1, you know, back in the day, like, you know.
Grant, well, that was controversial Christmas. I think it was pretty controversial. Some good answers, some bad answers.
I enjoyed
Grand.
that, Shane. Thanks for that.
No,
That was good.
Yeah.
Controversial, yeah.
This year I don't want another Christmas holiday. I want somebody with Christmas holiday. I need a miracle.
Hello to all the Elephant Room podcast listeners. This is J.W. Francis wishing you a very, very happy Christmas and a very happy New Year. And we'll see you in 2022. And I hope you're having just the best time. Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas. Good night.
Christmas holiday without somebody.
And we're back. Do you want a bit more of an interactive quiz?
Yes.
This is I was trying to get into the spirit of, you know, doing charades and, you know, doing Christmas games. And obviously we're doing this online, so it's hard to do that. But I'm trying to come close. So I've got 3 questions each, but I need to decide on odds and evens. So pick a number between 1 and 10. And whoever gets it goes first. So, Ian.
6.
Yes. So, Ian goes first. So, I've got these written down because I wrote them very flowerily. So, I'm very happy about this. In 2009, Bob Dylan released Christmas in the Heart. Dylan was raised Jewish, but famously converted to Christianity before his album Slow Train Coming. In what decade did he convert?
I'm going to say 1970s.
That is correct. So you get 1 point, but here's your chance to get some more points.
Oh.
Can you tell me the exact year that he converted and released Slow Train Coming?
Oh, God. I want to say 73.
Much later, 79.
Oh, crap. Right.
But you have one more chance to get another point out of this.
Okay.
Give me your best Bob Dylan impression.
Okay.
Any era.
Shit, I'm really putting the spot now, Frank.
Yeah, this is Christmas, man.
Because I can't do your one, Frank. You know, it's so hard to do.
68 Devil is that's niche.
This is a story of the hurricane. It's so difficult. I'm shit at Bob Dylan.
I'm not going to give you the point for that then. I'm not going to.
Can I try steal a point?
Okay, yeah, try steal one there, yeah.
I'll do my impression of your impression of Bob.
Okay, yeah, this is good. You've got a hard audience here, so go for it. No, you're not getting that.
It just sounds like a weird Corkonian.
Frank, do yours.
Okay, I need to get in the zone. You've got to like tighten your larynx.
Oh, it's Bob. He's right here.
I hear no difference between what you did and what I did. Go on.
No, you sounded like you're from West Cork. Moving on to question 2. This is for you, Shane.
Yes.
When Elvis released his massively popular Christmas album, Elvis's Christmas album, it spent 4 weeks at number 1 in the US. It included White Christmas, but who wrote White Christmas?
It's your man, Ives. Oh, no.
No, it was Irving Berlin.
Irving Berlin. Shite.
For another point, what year was the album released?
58.
57.
Oh,
that was close.
And for your chance to get 1 point out of this, give us your best Elvis impression.
oh, thank you very much, baby. Yeah. Come on, baby.
It's very deep for Elvis.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Elvis was that deep, was he?
But I did get a laugh out of Elvis.
Yeah, I'll give you. You did the. Yeah. This is what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Back to Ian.
Oh, okay.
Bing Crosby and David Bowie famously duetted together for a Crosby Christmas special. But can you tell me which then new song did they cross over with the old standard Little Drummer Boy?
Peace on Earth.
Yes. So that's 1 point. For another point, that was written at the time by Fraser and Grossman, just for that special. For another point, you've kind of got 2 here. Can you tell me what year that was broadcast or released?
Oh, God.
So it was broadcast in 1 year and it was actually released as a single in a different year. So I'll give you a point for either.
Okay. Oh, God. I'd like to say, was it 1980?
It was not. So it was first broadcast in 1977.
Oh, fucking hell, I was going to say 77.
And it was first released as a single in 1982.
Whoa, right. What a gap.
Yeah. Because people were just crying out for the weirdness. So they wanted it on record.
That's a serious gap.
Yeah. But you could, if you haven't, fear not. You can get another point if you give me your best David Bowie impression.
Okay. He played it left hand, but made it too far. Became the special man, but we were Ziggy's band.
You saved yourself at the... You saved yourself at the last sentence.
I could have got it then, you know.
Everyone when they're doing the Bowie, they do the Bowie.
Yeah.
It's
do you like my labyrinth?
Sitting in a tin can.
It's just a crystal, nothing more.
So Shane, your second question. Mm-hmm. The Pogues' enduring classic, Fairy Tale of New York, has been hailed as the UK and Ireland's favourite Christmas song in many, many polls, but was kept from the number 1 spot on all 3 occasions that it was released. Originally by the Pet Shop Boys, You Were Always on My Mind. Who sang the female part?
Kirsty McCall.
She sure did. Yep.
Yes.
So you've got 1 point. You can get more though. What year was it originally released?
85.
87. And again in 93 and again in 2005. So you have 1 more chance.
I'm just happy I'm getting the right decade, to be fair. Yeah. With that one.
1 more chance to get a point. Give us your best Shane McGowan.
That's Shane McGowan laughing.
I'll give you that. Okay. I think you're both sick of doing impressions.
I love it.
Ian.
Yep.
Finish the Christmas lyric. Are you waiting for the family to arrive?
Oh, fuck, it's Slade.
Sure is.
Can I steal if Ian doesn't get it?
I'll give him another while.
Yeah.
Fuck that. No, I'm drawing a blank.
Shane, you want to jump in? That has to be word for word now.
Does your father always tell you that the old songs are the best?
Oh, you couldn't have got it more wrong.
No, I knew that wasn't there. Like,
I thought it was
something about something inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you sure you got the room to spare inside?
Fuck. Yeah, 'cause I knew inside was the end.
Does your granny always tell you that the old songs are the
granny?
best? Then she's up and rock and rolling to the rest.
I thought it was that part.
Yeah. So you got Slade, right? You got Merry Christmas, everyone, right? I suppose, if you really wanted extra point, if you could back away from the microphone and give us your best, it's Christmas.
It's Christmas!
I'll give you that.
God, that's a tough one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play. I wasn't expecting you to do that. I just came up with that now. I didn't have it done. Right, Shane, finish the Christmas lyric. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe.
Oh, fuck. It's Nat King Cole, the Christmas song.
So you got 1 point for that.
Everybody knows. It's that part. Though it's been said many times, many ways.
Afraid not. Ian, you want to jump in?
Blue, 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 blue. I'm trying to remember.
That's it. It's a descending scale. Well,
Yeah.
He's still singing the last song. He's still singing Slade.
Something. Fuck. No. Gone.
helps to make the season bright.
Ah, that was tough.
Tiny tots with their eyes alight will find it hard to sleep tonight.
That was tough. In
That's
fairness,
very
it was.
tough.
I didn't have an impression on the last one, so I don't think you can really do a Nat King Cole impression, can you?
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, something like that. No,
Is that's
but
Pat
deeper.
Murphy in West Cork?
Yeah. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Okay, fuck it. Are you enjoying yourselves? I've got two more questions of lyrics if you wanna try finishing.
Yeah,
those.
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so Ian, finish the Christmas lyric. Giddy up, jingle horse, pick up your feet.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. It's not just like jingle around the clock.
It fucking is, you know.
Oh, brilliant. Thank God.
And who is it?
Probably hell.
Yep. That's 2 points there. Shane, you're under severe pressure here now.
Ian gets all the easy ones.
Sure, Shane.
Yeah.
Finish the Christmas lyric. You will get a sentimental feeling when you hear.
Voices singing "Let's Be Jolly," deck the halls with boughs and holly.
Damn right.
Way.
That's obviously, rocking around the Christmas tree
Bye.
by Brenda Lee.
Yes. Okay, let me tot up the points here. That's all I got for you, I'm afraid.
Oh.
I could have done that all day.
Yeah,
I think this could be like
this should be the whole podcast. It's just that game, Frank.
No, this could be neck and neck.
I think Ian, you edged it.
I don't know, Shane.
Whoa. Someone got 7 and someone got 6. And the winner is... Little drummer roll. The winner is Ian. There's a Terry's chocolate orange on the way down to you.
Oh, fantastic.
Frank, will you throw him a jumper like the den?
I'll send you, yeah.
And Ian just catches it.
Throw a denim jacket for you.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it?
Brilliant.
So anyway, that's it from me.
Hey, this is Taryn from Bicurious, wishing all the Elephant Room podcast listeners and our fans a class Christmas and a very happy New Year. Cheers!
And welcome back. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I think we'll wrap this up, Christmas wrap this up, and do our albums of the year. So I think it was a pretty strong year in terms of music. I'm going to let Ian kick us off there because I know Ian physically bought a lot of new songs or music this year. So kick us off.
Cheers, Frank. Yes, so look, before I start, I know there will be 100% overlap with yourself, Frank. So I'm not going to delve too much into those ones, but I thought I'd just go through. No, I have 5. I have my My top 5 vinyl that I bought that were released in 2021. Yeah, so 2 of them are reissues and 3 are completely brand new. So Chronologic, I suppose, released May 2021. The unbelievable analog reissue of, yes, you've guessed it, My Bloody Valentine Loveless. Just, do we need to say much more about this,
That was released in May,
Yeah.
but we didn't get it till August, did we?
Oh, yeah, sorry. So, yeah, it was released in May and there was a bit of a delay in getting the physical vinyl.
I wasn't being a smart aleck there. I was just hoping for my own sanity that wasn't May. Yeah.
No, it wasn't. It came up on Spotify, all right. You could listen to it there. But no, yeah, you're dead right there. So again, I won't dwell too much onto this. So the next one, also released in May 2021, but again, probably a little bit of a delay with the vinyl. For me, there certainly was. I think you got it before me. Was Crumb's Ice Melt. So if you want to share this one, Frank.
Yeah, I'm gonna let's just cross over. Fuck it. I'm gonna call that my album of the year. They're according to Spotify, they're my band of the year by a long shot. Yeah. I played Trophy 30 times. I can't hail them enough. I've contacted them for an interview. They won't get back to me. But I'll continue to pester them. But yeah, just a phenomenal album. I also, as you're saying, got that on Fluorescent Red, wasn't it?
You did indeed, yeah.
Did you not get it on the red?
I did. No, I managed to get it. I got it from Crowd in the UK, but the delay was phenomenal.
Yeah, substantial, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting them down as my number 1. So I'll let you continue.
Nice. Moving on then, we have a release at the end of July. So I'm going to go ahead and say this was my number 1 brand new 2021 album. Okay. So now I have a favorite reissue as well. Well, I'll get to that. I think we all know what that is. But my favorite brand new album of 2021 is, of course, Bicurious's Reconstructed.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. So look, I mean, I pretty much had the absolute joy, the whole episode on them, which was the actual interview. It was just, I can't say enough good things about these lads. Unbelievable. And we saw them very recently, lads. The 3 of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a joy.
Did. Just before the world locked down again.
Yeah, exactly. Like I saw they had to cancel a few gigs there, I think. But they seem to have an excellent UK tour coming up next year. So
it was nice to get sweaty and a bit drunk on a weeknight for once. for the first time in a long time.
It was just nice to get sweaty in a room full of men again.
Yeah.
But and one of my absolute bloody my favorite track on Reconstructed, like we used to, they actually played it live. I was so happy because they previous to that gig, I don't think they played it much live. So I was really happy. I'd like to think I had a little bit of a part to play in that, but sure, look. Anyway, okay, so moving on. So we have another new one from one of my Canadian favorites, Bad Bad Not Good. Talk Memory, the album. So I would have touched on the single that was released in July from this album called Signal from the Noise. Like just a complete blend of, you have like electronica meets jazz meets old style R&B. They're just phenomenal. I went to see them back in 2017 in Sugar Club after they released their album called 4 in 2016. That's fantastic. I highly recommend that too. So that was my other brand new release 2021. And then the final, my favorite reissue of 2021. Now look, Loveless is right up there, absolutely. But my favorite reissue of 2021 is, of course, the Beatles' Let It Be.
What a surprise.
So look, if you want to hear our opinions on that, just listen to the previous episode.
We won't saturate it with more Beatles stuff. We've already spoken about Lennon McCartney.
Yeah. You know what the Beatles need more of is more people talking about them.
They need more exposure.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me.
Okay, Shane, go for it.
Yeah, for probably, I'm 32, so probably the 32 years in a row, my favorite album that was by Crowded House. I'm so different to you lads. Like when I got my Spotify Wrapped, it was mostly podcasts that I've been listening to. But the only vinyl I bought this year, I bought twice, one for my dad and one for me. was their Dreamers Are Waiting album, because there was a white that came out in white vinyl, but there was a limited edition blue. So I got myself the limited edition blue, and I sent the white one down to Cork. So that's, and it came out from what I listened to on Spotify. It was the top album I listened to this year. So yeah, can't fault it. Looking forward to seeing them hopefully in the new year, if they get, because they're doing a UK tour, UK and Ireland tour. So hopefully I'll get to see them. Because I bought tickets in 2020 for In the Marquee, and that still hasn't been rescheduled. So, but yeah, there probably is a running theme this with me every year that it's a New Zealand band, or because the second to them was Aldous Harding, and the album Designer, a Kiwi singer. So that's pretty much all I listen to. That and conscious hip hop. Those are my two things. It was like New Zealand rock and conscious hip hop. I'm a very confused individual.
That's it. Spotify could probably like get people sectioned for some of their choices. You might be up there, Shane.
Yeah, possibly.
Conscious hip hop and New Zealand folk. Are you good to move on to me, Shane?
Yeah, fire away.
Obviously, Ian mentioned Crumb. Ice Melt was just, without a doubt, my favourite album of the year. It was just amazing. Then, obviously, our friend J.W. Francis, he released another phenomenal album called Wonder Kid. I can't pick a song from it. The whole thing was just good. It was just a good album. It flows really well. John, Take Me With You probably might be my highlight from it, but the whole thing is just amazing. Probably a Ghost, another great song. Cars, it's the whole thing. It's a good album. Men I Trust released an album this year called Untourable Album. Song on that called Sugar. That's once again just fucking unbelievably good album. Just Men I Trust doing exactly what they do, which is just really good, warm, smooth music. I don't even know what to call it. Lo-fi to an extent. Sierra Farrow released her album, Long Time Coming. There's a song called Silver Dollar. Her song In Dreams, really good American bluegrass. The winner of Best Album Title this year came from Calgary musician Chad Van Galen. He released a song called The World's Most Stressed Out Gardener. Followed closely by Viagra Boys' Welfare Jazz. Yeah, that was another very good album. A bit different from their first album. A bit more experimental, a bit more kind of electronic elements on it. Once again, just phenomenally good album. In terms of singles and EPs, Big Pig released a very good EP this year called The Sky Is Bleeding. American Beauty, Lavender were the singles off it. Brilliant, very good videos, very good artists in general. Kinsey released her EP. Happiness is Not a Fixed Date is on it. Dog Videos is on it. Elephant in the Room. Singles that were released this year that were very good: Only You by Ailbhe. They also released an EP. Follow on that. Just incredibly well recorded, good crafted songs, incredibly sound people. Always helps. Hazy released a very good single called Dreamer. Streaky is the most elusive, strange thing I've been listening to. Released a song called Win Win. I think if you go into his Spotify, he has maybe 6 monthly listeners, one of which is me.
Yeah.
So me and 5 other people listen to this guy. He's an Irish musician, and he's released 2 songs. He's released one called Super Friends last year, which was just fucking balls to the wall. Just incredibly good sounds on it. I don't know who he is, what he does. I don't particularly want to find out any more about him. And then he released a song called Win Win, which was the most fucking bizarre song I've heard all year. Just weird electronic, weird, strange lyrics. And the video for it was like Who Framed Roger Rabbit-esque, like him walking around this cartoon world. It looks like it was made with a budget of a few million or something. But Jeez. Clearly not, because he has 6 listeners. But yeah, Streaky. Look him up. I'll add him on the playlist, and I'll put the video on Instagram or something. But yeah, that's my highlights.
Streaky's an interesting name. It also describes like my laundry basket.
Oh, my. Just always down in the gutter.
I always want to end on a brown note. Well, lads, I thoroughly enjoyed creating this episode today.
Me
and
too.
With you guys, I hope you have a very happy Christmas.
Yeah, thanks, Shane.
No worries.
Thanks, Shane.
And a Merry Christmas to everyone who listens, and keep listening and tell your friends, and go listen to last year's Christmas episode as well, because it's also full of merriment.
I think we got a bit pissed for that one. Yeah.
Well,
So we'll leave it there, guys.
We'll leave it there.
have a very joyful Yuletide, everyone.